Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Neo Tokyo's official podcast, Interlinked. Huge shout out to our sponsor, Playa3ull Games. They are inspired by gamers and funded by their community. They have a epic game on the Epic Games Store, a third-person shooter called Nexus. Hop on in there and check that out. They're also currently selling nodes, so if you're interested, check that out at their website, playable.games. That is a 3 instead of a B on Playable. Now strap in for the rest of this episode of Interlink. I'm joined today by DG, the founder of Astra Nova. How we doing today, DG?
GM, everyone. Doing really great. Happy Friday to everyone, to every part of the world. And thank you so much for having me, Nick.
Oh, you're very welcome. I'm going to start off with an apology to the audience. I should have gotten this recording going earlier. DG was just spilling a bunch of alpha on the manga space. As any regular viewer of the podcast knows, that's certainly a passion of mine shared by DG. So I was super stoked to be able to connect on that before we got the podcast rolling. Sorry to the audience who will miss out on that alpha. Maybe you'll catch DG in a different space and be able to get that from him. But let's get the ball rolling. Would love to get a little bit of your background, how you made your way into this crazy world of Web3 that we both find ourselves.
I'm from Saudi and I got into the crypto world in 2015. So I was a early BTC miner. Later got into ETH mining, mined a few other currencies too, like Raven too, but some of them useless. But then that's how I started. Had my own farm in my house, and then later expanded this to a bit more commercial manner. And then later got into ICU investments, trading. So that's how it all started. My first ant miner, that's how I got over here. Back then, it was still very, very early, and people thought it was a hoax and it was a sham. But look where we are now.
Well, I'd love to actually jump into a little bit of hot news coming out of the kingdom. Their investment arm just became, I believe, the largest shareholders in EA,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
was super exciting. I think it's the same investment arm that went super big into Live. My brother is like a huge golfer. He's about as into golfing as I am into manga. So that was a big thing in his world. Do you know anything about that deal? Anything about the strategy of going so big into gaming?
Right. So, the first thing is I would like to say our current rulers and they really love games very much, especially the Crown Prince, MBS. He's a gamer himself. He adores gamers, and supports it in all possible ways. So through government initiatives, through such initiatives where he can empower and capture really great talents and companies. So I think the EA deal, especially, I mean, the Kingdom already started their foot by funding several game studios already this year, and also several government organizations providing grants and several types of support to various companies building in the region. And this particular deal is more towards showing that, we are a powerhouse from this region, and it aligns very much with Saudi's goals of Vision 2030, which involves several sectors such as emerging tech. It includes blockchain, then there's AI, then there's gaming and entertainment. So this particular initiative, I see it all tying it to the kingdom's Vision 2030, where we are anticipating and working towards a much more advanced future, and gaming plays a huge role in this.
I'm curious if like tourism is a part of that initiative as well. I had heard maybe
Sure.
rumors, or maybe this is official, that there's going to be a Dragon Ball themed theme park being built in the kingdom. I was like, okay, well, that's going to sign me up for a trip to the kingdom for sure, because I've got to see that.
No, I mean, for sure. the amusement park is definitely something me as a person, I really love Dragon Ball. This is one of the IPs I've been growing ever since I was a child. So yeah, there's several of these things happening, and tourism is very important for us. It's also part of the Vision 2030. If you can notice, then the capital, Riyadh, is also very much accommodating to the foreigners and the new folks who are having tech talent, who's also coming for visiting. So you'll see more of these things happening. Saudi's goal is basically to make Riyadh and the rest some of the other parts of the region a very global hub of talents and people to come and see the great heritage and architecture and everything that we have.
Yeah, one of my other passions, I had a brief career as an open micer doing comedy. And so I was stoked to see that they had such a large comedy festival that I believe just wrapped up. I think they had, legends like Tim Dillon, Bill Burr, and a number of others who were just down at that comedy festival in Saudi Arabia.
Absolutely. And that's not the least. There was even apart from comedy, there was also great celebrities and folks who came in. Like for instance, I think it was towards last year in December, there was even Eminem there. So there
Hmm.
is it's crazy. Like there is so much things happening, and we're very proud to bring all these folks to our kingdom and see and show a different Saudi, which is more progressive, advanced, and transforming technology. So yeah, I think this is we're on to something, and we're just getting started.
Yeah, it's exciting. It's always, a really beautiful time when you get some, a leader that people are really excited about making waves on the world stage. So it's certainly on my destination list of places to visit. Who knows? Maybe we'll end up meeting up there at some point in the future. And you'll be able to, we can continue to swap some manga stories. But jumping back to your background, so you got into mining. Obviously, now you're the founder of an AI gaming platform. So what happened in between? How'd you get from sort of like mining on one side of crypto to what you're doing now?
So that was more of my hobby, mining and everything. So at that time, crypto wasn't as developed as it is now. It was more something I was delving, which many people didn't even understand. So in the Web 2 side of things, I'm coming from an entrepreneurial background. I have my businesses in EdTech and TradFi, spanning across the Middle East and Asia. I'm also a VC, part of a fund which is based in Ras Al Khaimah. It's in UAE. And in 2020 is when I saw an opportunity where I wanted to also turn my hobby into like take it to the next phase. So that's how Astra Nova came to be, where me and my partner we decided to like have a platform which is going to be on entertainment, focused on entertainment and powered with blockchain and AI. Of course, looking at the incentives and the ownership which it can provide to the community. We saw that as a huge angle which can really revolutionize. And we started from there, from a community to all the way to the multimedia AI entertainment ecosystem that you see today, what Astronova stands for.
Well, obviously, it's been a roller coaster since 2020. I'm from the 2021 vintage. It's been an absolutely nuts 4 years. So take us through the journey of, how the company started, the idea, and how you sort of evolved through all this transitioning landscape through the FTX blow up, the crash, the gaming mania, the long, long bear, the Bitcoin rip, and now all of us praying for our precious altcoins. So tell us the story there.
I would say that's a very, very long story because I mean, we started off as an NFT community called the Deviants. That's how we gathered our first holders and folks. we rallied behind this collection of mischievous characters. So we had a very, very large lore that we had, with like different planets, creatures, and these miniature-sized living creatures called deviants, which was deformed actually, but they look cute. So this was a start. We started from there, and then we expanded to a Telegram mini game, which we developed, then to an action RPG, which is currently still under development, which has AI agent integrations, and then to a social fi platform to to reward our users and also keep loyalty for on-chain and social tasks. And as we were building out, I also wanted to turn my passion into something here too. So we have our own platform called Novatunes, which is a web comic application, which is currently on Play Store. So this is also how we share our stories through these webtoons, where it is through our own lore, plus also how we collaborate with other IP partners like Shiba Inu, Simon's Cat, Matsuri, the luxury car brand, and several others. So it was a slow process where we went in different years. Like it's almost 5 years now, 5 years plus, I think, where we had like different product launch, and it all became and bundled into this huge ecosystem what you see today. So Astra Nova is more or less like an IP play with all these different entertainment multimedia products. And as we were building this, there came a point where we were also exploring like some various as a business, various forms of how we can go forth with cash positive business. And that's what birthed Token Play from last year, which is presently one of the core pillars of the Astronova ecosystem. It's a mini app token operating system, which is very cash positive in terms of its business model and everything. And it's solving one of the biggest problems in the space, that is millions and millions of tokens being generated by platforms like Pump Fund. And we wanted to be that utility layer for everyone, like the default utility layer. After you create a token, what else are you going to do apart from buying and holding and pumping it? This is what we wanted to be, and that's what we came with the concept of Token Play AI.
I'm muted. So that's super interesting. I've recently sort of gotten an understanding of Pump.Fun. Becker launched his alt season token alongside of his stream, and that was my first real introduction. Full transparency to the community. I got absolutely hosed. I top blasted it at like I think like 10 million, then 15 million market cap. I think it's currently sitting at 800K. So that was a big GG. I got carted out there. But would love to hear like what sort of utility you guys are providing through the platform. Let's say, Interlinked hops on a pump.fun. We're not planning to do that, but let's just imagine we launch a new token on pump.fun. We then reach out to you and we're like, hey, how do we add utility here? What are sort of the next steps and what offerings are you bringing there?
Right. So I would like to reiterate. So if you are creating a token on any other platform or anywhere, for instance, you come to Token Play, our AI infra platform, then what we allow is, so this is a platform which allows both projects, can be community, or even creators to create these viral monetizable mini apps without any kind of development experience, purely through vibe coding, and integrate your own token into it. Now you have mini apps powered by your own token, easily crafted by our platform. And now you can get your passive token holders to being active participants, because they're going to be engaging with your project in a more closer way by participating in these mini apps. And it boosts the community engagement, adds a layer of utility. Plus, on the positive side, for the project, it also gives a layer of monetization. And from a user perspective, um, If you don't want to like just buy and trade or sell your tokens, then the only thing we can the one other aspect with token play, what it does is it has that degen element where you can turn your favorite 100 coins of whatever project or community you are into, I don't know, 500 or 1,000, depending the kind of mini app you're engaging with and winning it. You know, it can be skill based, can be luck based. It all depends on the creator. But we as a platform, we allow everyone to come and create this. And it's not restricted to just projects, it can be users or even creators.
And either through y'all's own internal testing or some of the early people that got access to it, what are some of the mini apps that are being created? Some cool examples that excite you?
So right now, I would say we are still we haven't released into the market yet, the product. In fact, this is a very good time because next week we are actually releasing our early access version of this platform. We partnered with over like 30 plus massive communities. For the next week version, we are going ahead with a few partners like Shiba Inu, Simon's Cat, and Peanut, the squirrel coin, for like the early test phase version of our platform. Now, what this does is we're just like understanding the dynamics of what a user would like. So it's a it's kind of like an alpha version, and we're just getting feedback from the users. So this is nowhere near the final product. There will be more advancements and stuff, but this is a way for us to understand from a business standpoint what the real users would like to see, what communities, what projects would want to see. And we run that all the way till November. And as part of our strategy, in starting from December this year, we start rolling out our white label platforms. And these are massive platforms that we are doing with some exclusive communities like Shiba Inu, Simon's Cat, and one more. I cannot reveal the name right now, where we are creating their own token plus mini app launchpad, all powered by our tech on a rev share model. And you can think of it like you know, if you're familiar with the Bonk team, and they created a launch pad called Let's Bonk.fun. That is, let's say that's a Pikachu. What we are creating for Shiba and Simon's Cat and all that is a Raichu. You know, it's like a more advanced version of that launch pad where it's powered by us, and potentially these are much larger communities and bigger holder bases, so they would be able to succeed. And our concept of token play is completely validated. And early next year, we go ahead with the release of our final standalone platform, which does not have a token launchpad feature, but for very obvious reasons. That's not the element that we want to compete in. We actually want to be kind of like an extension, like for example, what Bubble Maps is to Dex Tools or Dex Screener. You know, you would love to have us. So that way, platforms like Pump Fun, Let's Bong.fun, I don't know, For Meme, or any other in various chains, they see us as an add-on, which is very like a step two. You create something, you graduate the coins. What else? How do you increase this token's shelf life? And we are that answer. So that's what we have in mind with our rollouts and stuff.
And you had mentioned the rev share. Could you unpack like sort of the economics behind the platform, like how you guys will generate revenue?
Right, for sure. So I think this would be a big alpha because I have never actually shared this on an AMA or podcast. So the rev share for us is coming from various angles, but the primary ones involves, so there is a um, we have a fixed fee when it comes to the mini app, where when anyone is creating the mini apps, there is a fee which is incurred, ranges between 50 to $100, depending on the chain, depending on various aspects like that. And then the second model is the most very clear one. There is reward pools from each of these mini apps being created. So whatever mini app it is, so let's say there's 5 players going to be participants in a particular mini app, which is, let's say for this instant, it's a racing mini game, like Mario Kart racing game. Then a portion of that Majority of the portion goes to the user. I think around 80% is going to the user because that's what I said. The DGens, they want to participate. They use that own native currency of that mini app to participate. And majority goes to them. And 10% goes to the creator of that platform. It can be a user, it can be the project themselves, or even a creator, an influencer. Goes to them. And 10% goes to us, the platform. So this is where we generate this. So it's more on volume. And just like how Pump Fund has their bonding curves and launch fees, we have a model like this. And as more people use it, the more fees that we incur, that we generate. And similarly, if they don't want to participate, they want to do like spectating. Let's say a creator made this particular mini app, and they do not want to, like, people don't want to play it. They want to do something like polymarket. They want to like guess and predict who's going to win or lose or any other outcomes in this particular sessions. Then they can do that. And again, a similar mechanism is here where the right outcome gets majority of the winner wins. 10% goes to the creator, 10% to us, the platform. And we have other mechanisms too, like subscriptions, spotlighting, marketing. These are all other ancillary aspects. And what we do is we take that fees and we use that for a portion of that, a great portion of that, we use that for buybacks of our native currency, of our ecosystem token, the RVB token. So we have a circular economy here, something similar to like what Pump Fund has, what Bonk has, what they use all the money they made from Solana revenue from their platform towards buyback of that platform to create a very healthy, sustainable token growth and everything. So we have something similar in play, and this is one of the biggest use case of our token play AI platform.
Now a word from our sponsors.
What's up, crypto gamers? Shout out to our sponsor, Myria. Myria is revolutionizing Ethereum-based gaming with its powerful L2 scaling solution. Think zero gas fees, instant transactions, free NFT minting, and more. Myria offers a suite of tools that are tailor-built for game development, including game-specific SDKs, a spec'd-out marketplace, Web3 spiked leaderboards, new AI super tools, and more. All this fueled by a fleet of player-run nodes that are a breeze to operate and pump out daily rewards for supporting the ecosystem. Plus, check out Meta Rush, the Battle Royale obstacle runner by Myria Studios, dropping very, very soon.
Now back to your regularly scheduled program.
And I think maybe before we started recording, you said you have a TGE coming up. Are there any details that you want to reveal around the TGE? And then maybe we dive into, how exactly the token factors into that process.
For sure, for sure. So for the TGE, we have on October 18th. This is something we were hoping since the day we started this project. Well, we got here. So this is something of a big moment for us. We think that we this will bring a lot of eyes into our project, and with our upcoming listings and stuff, we lined up some tier one exchanges from various regions so that people from different parts of the world can engage with us. For us, this token launch is not just just for the sake of it, but for us, it's kind of like a channel which opens up for more eyes into token play. And that's how we see it, and also for the expansion of our further multimedia ecosystem. And we did look into certain strategic regions, like, for example, the EU market, the American market, and also some Asian countries, which are very popular. So, yeah, you can expect to see some regional listings, which is centered around our strategy to capture more users, regional users from that area, which will also add value, not just as traders and stakeholders, but for this product of ours, which we are building.
Oh, that's super exciting. I certainly know how that goes. We recently just finished a huge initiative at Superverse where we were getting onto the Korean exchanges, just got listed onto a
Yeah.
couple of those just recently. So I know that
Amazing.
is a crunch time of many, many documents, many, many meetings, many calls, bridging sort of like cultural barriers and learning, each of these regions have, a very specific crypto culture of things that resonate with them. So how have you been sort of exploring that? How have you been like sort of, either as personally or prepping the team to, really appeal to each of these, distinct regions?
Those are very, very deep question, an interesting one too. I would say from the Saudi MENA market, we have a good base when it comes to like the backers and the team, and everyone is quite knowledgeable about what we're doing and our plans ahead. Now, when it comes to China, particularly, with a lot of our exchange listings also coming up from which has a lot of user base from there. Um, we think we have a very good edge, especially thanks to Token Play and Astra Nova's partnership, a strategic partnership with Alibaba Cloud. We have a very good base there because for Token Play particularly, Alibaba is our provider for AI infra and for our hosting. This is basically one very, very superior aspect, which I see, because especially when we set on our journey to build something as revolutionary as this, because what we're basically saying is kind of like the pump fund moment, right? Like, imagine 2 years before Pump Fund came and Alon was actually pitching to you. You would think that was a crazy idea. And why would you do that? The people can just dev it and then launch. Why would you need a platform to do this? We think that we are kind of in that area thing because what we are saying is after you launch it, now what are you going to do with it? That's us. And for this particular concept to resonate, we wanted to have an amazing tech partner who can provide our vision and get it. Because when we are saying vibe coding, we're looking at a lot of very, very high intensive, capable AI models, GPUs, and very, very good hosting services because we're talking about hundreds of thousands of users or even millions. And we need to be able to hold all that together. So Alibaba with their tech is providing us with their Quen AI, their enterprise grade AI tech stack, comfy UI for all the graphics and all that stuff. And plus also their Alibaba Cloud servers, which gives us amazing uptime, no servers down, and we can actually keep this going. And the best part about this is also a very strategic relationship. This is on a revenue share business model, so something new for them, but they really believe they saw the vision in us, and they are also looking for something aligning in this side of empowering creator tools and UGC. They see this as a good alignment, and that's how we got working. Hoping for the best on that side.
Yeah, well, that's certainly a critical partner to have in your corner, especially when going after China. Um, as far as the vibe coding itself, what's the underlying sort of technology powering the vibe coding? Did you guys go the open source route? Did you guys, develop something in-house? What was the strategy there?
So it's in-house right now because for obvious reasons, I mean, when we're working with corporate partners like Alibaba Cloud, we have we have a few restrictions on making the code base and everything open source. However, we do have elements of decentralization even over there, but not right now, but in the standalone platform to make the assets, to make the mini app templates and much better. This is through the form of potentially being a BitTensor subnet and incentivizing the miners to actually be, constantly training this. So this is something further down the roadmap that we have to keep on low. Right now, it is us training the AI models, our team. Our team is quite experienced in game development. I mean, we basically touched in everything in terms of gaming with Astra Nova and the entertainment aspects. So We have a very good studio and devs when it comes to this particular sector. And the next thing that we did was we partnered with several other studios to also provide us templates and everything. Now the users are going to be training the models. This is why the go-to-market strategy is very important. We have the early access version where we're trying out with all these massive communities. Then we have the white labels part where there are millions of holders there. So this would allow us for the users to keep on training until we perfect this platform of ours, so that by the final version, the standalone platform, we'll have a very, very robust platform which will be able to churn out anything. As easy as you use ChatGPT, you just type out whatever you want to build, and in just a couple minutes, there you go. You have your favorite mini app ready to launch.
Yeah, I'm super excited to see what the community ends up cooking up. And I mean, there's a lot of tokens out there that need utility. So, especially those with dedicated communities who are passionate about their token, I'm super excited to see, what cool things that they come up with. As we approach the top of the hour, are there any other aspects of Astra Nova that you think is important to share with the audience?
I would say for us, for those who are very, very interested in like the aspects like webtoons, for instance, I think we are going to be doing some very, very cool things. It's also a passion of mine, which Nick, you already know by now. So I would, that's something I see. Many of the products in Astronova, especially the IP ones, they're slow growth but has amazing room for potential over many months and years of time. We do plan to establish ourselves as one of the leading IPs in especially the MENA region and stuff. So even though initially right now we only have 2 to 3 webtoon series and everything right now on our application, over time we wish to populate it with tens and hundreds of these and even thousands, and we incentivize many studios and creators to come to our platform and publish it over there. You can think of it like the Web3 version of Webtoons. This is what Novatoon strives to be, and we think there's plenty of opportunity and growth there. And and blockchain can be that solution where many of these places they're having pirated platforms and the creators are not being rewarded. Webtoon is one platform which is doing that, but there is not much restrictions or bans towards these web comics websites as we are seeing in the movies or series that we have. That was an era we had, right? We type in any movie online or torrent, we get to watch it. So same thing right now in comics, but I see that transforming in the next couple of because with anime, manga taking the lead, there's definitely going to be suit action against these folks. And at that time, there are going to be platforms like this, like what we're building, and like Webtoons, which is gonna stand the tide of time. And that's where the big opportunity is. And for the rest of the platforms in our ecosystem, it basically amplifies these other multimedia products of ours, so that we can share our lore and story with our community.
Yeah, I definitely think you're right on the the legal coming after the sort of illegal uses. Japan is famous for coming after
And
people
Korea too.
that, yep, and they go hard. I think Nintendo, is famous for going after everybody, Pokemon and them going after Pal World. There's so many examples. So I tend to think that you're correct and that we'll head into a much more regulated space. Is that another like sort of opportunity to arm people with vibe coding tools so that they can make their own mangas or their own cartoons?
Yes, we also have an infra which we haven't actually pushed out. I cannot reveal the name right now, where we allow so this is part of our future product releases. It will be joining the Astronova product ecosystem, which allows both creators so it kind of ties into everything else that we are building, where we have a platform where you can vibe code where you can create these game assets, comic assets, and you basically list them. And depending on what the community think is best for that particular product, they vote for it. And we as a platform, we incentivize. So this is where the RBV token also works. We give them as incentives as well for really creative, good works. That way, we are able to have a very strong community base where they're incentivized to keep on creating stuff. And the really good aspects, we take them into the product. So some of them they're able to publish it directly, but some aspects we would be integrating into our own lore or the IP partnership lore and comics that we release with our partners.
Oh, that's super cool. I can almost imagine like a bonding curve very similar to like Pump.Fun, but for a community to get behind, a particular sort of like cartoon or manga. I know for Neo Tokyo, there's always big infighting about the direction and the culture. So having it all sort of like verified on the blockchain, like, hey, this is the IP line that the biggest like majority of the community supports. We've got a really good writing team under C's, who's a legend who put all of the riddles together and a lot of like Neo Tokyo's lore. So that's definitely a super interesting aspect. Only time for a couple more questions. So right off the rip, would be curious if there's any sort of like games or can open it up to any other crypto projects outside of Astra Nova that you're really excited about right now.
GTA. I
Yeah,
think
you're
I
in good
think
company.
GTA is I think GTA is going to see uh the gaming trend, unfortunately, is suffering since the last 1, 2 years. Very, very bearish, very bearish. We actually, for us as a product, we evolved into these various multimedia products. As you know, for us as a project, we are folks who believe we go along with the market. We don't fight the market. However, I do see a reemergence of that trend with GTA coming out next year, and we will be seeing some amazing people and games out there in the market at around that time. There is this one project called Kemuri, which is one I was following too. Amazing art and everything, Japanese style. Even those guys, they finished the production of the game and everything, but they didn't release it. All these big players are not actually doing that because they see an opportunity. It's a trend. Once the trend comes, you release it and everything's going to be fine. Everyone is bullish on that moment. But unfortunately, right now, what it seems is many of the gaming oriented folks have already burned overvaluation, overhyped, and it was just too much. It's too much, it overheats. You gotta cool down a bit. Right now we're there, but then we're gonna start heating up again next year. That's how I see it. And there's so many players out there, which is building in secret and stealth, which is all gonna come as soon as we start kicking it off.
Oh, I totally agree. I mean, fighting the trend is a losing battle. It's like the ocean. If you're trying to swim against a riptide, like
And
there's
you
no
can.
ability.
You can, but we're talking about the 0.00001 percentage. We're talking about if you want to be a trendsetter. This is totally fine, but it's very hard to do that. And if there is no inclination or green lights for that particular niche, it's super hard. We're talking about coming into the market with something like ChatGPT by OpenAI. You're gonna be like, it's revolutionary, so you can do it. So unless that is the case, it's very hard to fight the trend and establish something. Even Sun Wukong, the amazing game from China, if you're familiar, Nick, those
Yeah,
guys,
play
they
it.
yeah, they came in a very good time, by the way. Before GTA postponed their release and everything, gaming was heating up again, and then they released. It was very good, and it's an amazing game, by the way. You should check it out. The Monkey King, it's a good Chinese mythology and all that. So I see that as positive signs, and they made amazing revenue, which is, as a business, that's what matters, right? So amazing revenue, amazing product. They captured the market. They worked, I think, 10, 15 years on that. It was crazy. Me and my partner, we joke together like sometimes like Sun Wukong is gonna be our action RPG because it takes so long to, get it right. We want to wait. We don't want to push out stuff when there is no interest right now. Focus on things which is going to work very well because as a business, revenue and things are very important. Passion is great, but you have to also have a mind to properly monetize it and also a trend to properly make use of. That's how we see it. And we think that at the right time, at the right moment, we will also have something in gaming that we release from Astra Nova too, like our action RPG, for instance.
I love it. I think that's a wonderful sentiment for us to wrap up on today. DJ, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate you, A, pushing the space forward, and B, joining us on our podcast to share it with the Neo Tokyo and greater community. We really appreciate it.
Totally. It's my pleasure, Nick, and I'm really glad to be part of the Citadel.
Same
All
here.
right.
Stoked to have you as part of Neo Tokyo. And to the audience, thank you guys for joining us today. Wouldn't we would just be talking to the void if it wasn't for the audience. So we greatly appreciate you. And we will be back next week with another episode of Neo Tokyo's official podcast, Interlinked. Take care, everyone.